All right, so this is the day where Texas got absolutely pounded by a huge string of thunderstorms that spawned multiple tornadoes all up and down it. And just wanted to kind of show you kind of the aftermath around where I'm at, which is outside of San Antonio. So San Antonio was fairly safe, but you can see all these massive clouds that are all over the place right now that are just reaching really high up there in the atmosphere. That's a lot of energy stored up there. And you can see that right now we're looking pretty good. The sky is kind of like cleared up around here. We did get hit by some wind and hail earlier today, but honestly, it was bad, but not like, you know, we didn't sustain any damage whatsoever. So we were really fortunate that we didn't get hit by anything, because we were in the tornado watch zone. Then again, like most of Texas, all the way from San Antonio all the way up to like Dallas, Fort Worth, was in the tornado watch area. So I guess that's not too surprising. I just kind of wanted to show, you know, the way that it looks right now. You can see like we got clouds that are kind of moving in all kinds of different directions and just doing some funky stuff. You know, we got these really big thunderheads, not really producing any thunder right now. Seems like the majority of the wind, at least at the surface level, is coming from the south. So I guess really it's southwest, because most of these clouds, as you can see, they're kind of moving towards us from the west where the sun is setting. But it does feel like it's more like directionally coming from the south. So maybe it's coming from the west up there, but down here at the surface level, it's coming from the south for the most part. Yeah, you just got this massive wall of just huge thunderheads that are, I don't think that they're headed this way. I think that those are also headed towards the east because of the southern wind, or not the southern wind, but the western wind that's up there. But it is certainly interesting looking. And you can see, like right here, these clouds here that are like directly up overhead are actually moving to the south. So we've got some interesting movement up in the sky right now, where some clouds are heading in one direction, others are heading the other direction, and that just shows you, you know, exactly what's going on up there, where the wind just can't make up its mind which way it wants to go. You know, we got one system that's just kind of trying to bully the other system, and they're fighting, and that's not good, because that's how you get lots of tornadoes and violent, severe weather. There was lots of lightning and thunder earlier today that I did not capture because I was too concerned about, you know, trying to keep my wife and myself safe with all the craziness that was going on. But I think that we're pretty much through the majority of it right now. Like I don't see any big thunderheads that are coming out of the west, and that's where the majority of these, well, I should say it would be coming out of the west and the north. So this is the north up over here, and then that's the west over here. The majority of this stuff is all headed now kind of to the northwest. Oh, I'm sorry, the northeast. Everything that was kind of supposed to like collide together was coming out of the south. So we had a lot of clouds that were coming out of the south earlier today from that direction. And then we had a lot of other stuff that was coming from the west. And that stuff all just kind of met over the majority of Texas, all the way from San Antonio to up to Dallas, Fort Worth area. And it was pretty crazy. Numerous tornadoes. There was some structural damage to some high schools, some hospitals. There's been a few homes that were destroyed. I'm just hoping that everybody is safe, because that is the number one thing, is that, you know, people being safe, and then hopefully their pets are okay too, because I know that can be devastating to not know if your pet's made it. Because I think that most pets would probably run off and hide somewhere as soon as you know, things got really, really bad and the wind and everything else got real crazy. Yeah, so we got a storm shelter that's going to be on the way. That'll be another project that I'll be showcasing on the channel. Did not get it in time for this storm. Thankfully, it seems like it was not necessary anyways, although it was raining really hard and we did get hit by some hail earlier. You can see right now that the pool is incredibly full, not overflowing, pretty dang close though. We got a pretty big downpour. And the system that I had put in, if you haven't seen the video, there's a system that I had installed months ago that takes all the rainwater from these two downspouts where the most of the rainwater comes from, that winds up going into the pool. And I tied that into those 4-inch pipes down to that sump basin, and then there's a discharge valve right here that was working its magic earlier, spitting up all that rainwater. And on top of that, there's the rainwater would come along here, and this is where I've had the start of my dry creek bed. I have a video that it's kind of part of my new rototiller video that I have coming out here, and you'll be able to see like how I went ahead and just kind of used the tiller as somewhat of an excavator to excavate this, because I don't have an excavator and I'm not paying for an excavator. Not when I can use the rototiller, and it does, you know, a fairly decent job. You can see it dug down there very nicely, and this worked perfectly. Like all that water that was like collecting along the surface over here ran down into the dry creek bed and was just flowing earlier. You can kind of see all the lines in the silt there where all the material is kind of getting carried through that dry creek bed. So that worked out really, really well, and I'm very happy with that. It'll help control, because as you can see right now, the pool's got it has very little a bit of debris. You can see the stuff that's floating on there. That's not from the rain. That's actually lawn clippings, because our lawn guy came through and he just cut the grass not that long ago. But with all the strong winds, it just kind of blew all the lawn clippings into the pool. I mean, that's cakewalk compared to like what it used to be. This pool would just be like, you can see there's a little bit of dirt and stuff like that in there, maybe some little bit of rocks. You can kind of see some of that silt that's in there. That has actually been in there for a little while. I just have not had an opportunity to come out here. I have so many projects that are going on. I have not had an opportunity to come out here and clean out the pool yet. So this pool is actually pretty dang clean, especially if you were to compare this to where things were at before I did all this work to make sure that the pool would not get over flooded with all this mud and stuff, because everything that was in here, all this muddy, just disgusting mud and all this stuff would just flow right into the pool, and it would just turn to this big muddy mess, and it would take me weeks and weeks to clean that all out. So I'm very happy that it's working out really well. And also, this is interesting, like yesterday I was working out here and these yellow flowers were not to be seen, and then today, after the storms and everything like that, look at that. All these like little yellow flowers popping up all over the place. I thought that was really cool. Very, very interesting how that worked out. I don't know what they are, but they're pretty. And they weren't here yesterday. So really interesting that after that storm, I don't know, maybe that's what it takes, just a big downpour of water for these things to kind of open up. All right, so I think that's gonna do it for me for right now. And I'm gonna head back inside. I don't know if we got dinner going on yet or not, but you know, I'm starting to get a little bit hungry, so hopefully we got some food ready. But I just wanted to go ahead and shoot this video, kind of show, you know, what the skies look like after all the severe weather kind of rolled through. I don't know if we're gonna get anything else tonight. I'm hoping that we don't. I'm hoping that was it and that we're done and that we can just kind of like get back to, you know, doing what we usually do, which is, well, for me, lots of projects around the house. But then again, you guys know that because you're watching my video, right? Yep. All right. I'm going to go ahead and sign off, and I hope that you guys all stay safe, and I will see you next time. I got more projects coming, so stay tuned for those projects, and be safe, and have a good one.